So, gentlemen,
Yes.
we get people excited on this show.
And then we let him down.
And then it's a set and then a splat.
That's on
That's
them.
right.
But some people actually want to give us money so that we can keep doing this show, because otherwise, what's our motivation?
And I vote we take it.
Okay.
Yes.
Seconded. The motion carries.
That's right.
So we got some folks to thank, and we'll do so right now. Thanks so much to Robin, and to NL, and to John the Ginger Scotsman.
Our kind of guy.
Yes, indeed. Uncle Doug, he would have
I have a
lots
compatriot.
to talk about.
That's right.
But we also have some people are so saintly in their giving.
They've blown right past sainthood.
Yeah, they don't get a saint. They get to go to heaven.
That's right.
So this is a thing that we do when people give at a certain level, and we got a couple of them. And I am going to say that we'll start with Uncle Doug, who is going to be giving a saint dedicated to the girlfriend of Jens.
All right. Well, this is a birthday present for listener Yen's fiance,
Who was a big listener, and we love her, and we're glad she's around.
That's right, and she knows who she is.
I hope so.
And
Otherwise, we'll have to do this again.
That's right. So, well, listener Yen's fiance, or LJF, as we'll refer to her for reasons that will soon become clear, for your sins and for your birthday, this is your heaven. As over the course of your life, birthdays stop being joyous affairs as one passes certain milestones and start taking on a more ominous tone as you realize that, like a disabled submarine, you are simply marking the meters until you inevitably reach your hull crush depth. But for now, rejoice in knowing that when the inky blackness has swallowed you whole, there is light at the end of the tunnel, or rather, on the far side of the bridge. LJF, when this world is done with you, another bigger, stranger world awaits. At first you were blinded by an overwhelming light and an unrecognizable thunderous cacophony. But as your eyes and ears become accustomed to your new surroundings, an incredible tableau stretches out to the horizon. You stand on the edge of a vast canyon, whose far side is beyond your vision. In front of you, a thin, crystalline bridge stretches toward the horizon. The bridge appears to be made of large glass tiles, each one emblazoned with shining letters. You focus on the first one until it becomes legible. OT1. The second says OT2, and on, seemingly forever. On both sides of the bridge are enormous stadium stands, also stretching to the distance, filled with incredibly strange and colorful beings, more numerous than the sands of the sea, all cheering for you and chanting your name. Off in the distance, giant volcanoes belch clouds of yellow, red, and black into the sky, lit by two shimmering binary stars. Great airships patrol the distance, although from here they look like 70s-era mid-range passenger jets with papier-mâché missiles taped to the wings, but that would be stupid. It takes you a minute, but then it hits you like a volleyball spike by a shirtless Tom Cruise. You are in Scientology heaven.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You are overcome with the feeling that you are to move along the bridge in front of you. But wait, you say to yourself, I've done plenty of auditing. I've given a fair share of my money. Shouldn't I start from where I got to in my earthly life? Oh, you silly LJF. Were it so easy, everyone would do it. It turns out that in death, Scientologists reset like Mario at the beginning of a level. Oh. Well, you think at least I know what to do, and you begin searching for your checkbook. Suddenly a flaming sword appears in front of you. It is Excalibur. And in a voice you hear in your mind, and in a language you do not speak yet understand, you are told that here in Scientology heaven, your path has been prepaid.
Oh.
Ooh.
Step forward.
That is heaven.
I know, right? Step forward, my child, says the voice. You stretch out your foot and take one large step onto the bridge. The crowd goes wild, screaming your name in ecstasy. As you look down at your feet, you see the canyon below has no bottom but stretches forever. Momentarily stricken by vertigo, you sway to and fro, waving your arms to correct yourself. The crowd gasps. Steady, my child, says the voice from the sword that takes up a position next to you. You take another step. Again, the crowd explodes. Well done, my child, says the voice. Your confidence building, you take a step onto the OT3 tile. Ooh. And just as you do, something triggers in your memory. Something about OT3. The crowd goes silent, and Excalibur slowly moves away as it repeats over and over, the fire is lit, the fire is lit. Suddenly below you, a hot wind rises from the chasm, followed by a growing yellow light. Well, shit, you think. But wait! As the wall of fire rises up to consume you, you are overcome with an incredible feeling of peace and wonder. The flames don't burn at all, but instead your mind is opened and it all makes sense. A prolific pulp fiction science writer creating a science fiction religion? Sure. Galactic empires, giant movie theaters, vacuum ships, John Travolta's career, being a total dick to your family. It all makes sense. It's all true. And with that, the fire subsides. The crowd, who you now realize are pre-Xenu aliens, goes wild, and Excalibur says, "Well done, my child." You look at the bridge and are filled with a sense of urgency. You want nothing more than to get across the bridge to the far end, to those waiting out there. So another step you take, another cheer from the crowd. "Well done, my child." Another step, another cheer. "Well done, my child." This goes on for a while.
Yeah.
Step, steer, "Well done, my child." Step, cheer, "Well done, my child." You think, do these aliens ever get bored? Does Excalibur have nothing better to do? Step, cheer, "Well done, my child." You look at the tile below your feet. OTXXLMCVLMMVII. You take a deep breath Step, cheer, "Well done, my child." Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, and quite literally was, you see something in the distance. You squint to make it out, and it appears to be an ornate, gaudy stage, surrounded by the flags of all the universe's nations, a lot of gold leaf, and two large pictures of a paunchy middle-aged man with really bad teeth and an ill-fitting knockoff Navy uniform. Another few steps and you realize it's LRH. The fact that Scientology in Scientology heaven they couldn't shave off a few pounds or give him proper orthodontia does not bother you at all. You pick up your pace. Step, cheer, "Well done, my child." Step, cheer, "Well done, my child." As you get closer, more details are visible to you. Many prominent Scientologists mill about the stage. A group on the right is engaged in a spirited a cappella rendition of "We Stand Tall." On the right side, there's a hot tub where a shirtless Tom Cruise and David Miscavige sit, very close together, with only one hand visible, making intense eye contact. John Travolta is in nothing but a towel, sits nearby, impatiently waiting his turn. The center of the stage is raised on a dais, on top of which there is a golden table with an e-meter seemingly made of light. On one side sits LRH himself, on the other, a being you've never seen before, but instantly recognize as Lord Xenu. You're not shocked. You get it. As you sprint towards the end of the bridge, it all falls into place. LRH and Xenu are two sides of the same being, the light and the dark. It is one eternal round. Time is a flat circle. You're so dizzy from enlightenment that you fail to notice that whatever Tom and David are doing has reached some sort of a crescendo, spilling hot tub water on the last few tiles. You hear the crowd gasp before you even realize that you've slipped. Your body slams hard on the last tile. You hear a loud crack, and everything, the crowd, Excalibur, the stage, the hot tub, all disappear into silent blackness. At first you are blinded by an overwhelming white light, and then unrecognizable thunderous cacophony. But as your eyes and ears become accustomed to the new surroundings, an incredible tableau stretches out to the horizon. This is your heaven, LJF. Do enjoy.
Ouch.
Oh, boy. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
That's great. Welcome. Who doesn't want to go to Scientology heaven?
Wow. It sounds really super duper. So, I believe
And clear. It all feels very clear.
we have another.
Oh, yes, indeed. Uncle Mark, your job is to heavenize Michael.
Michael, both we and your Heavenly Father thank you for your kind patronage. So we hope you won't mind a little forever misfire with your final eternal destination. I know it's a little confusing. Let me explain. Michael, the heaven you are now inextricably bound for on a day far distant is not the originally designed heaven for you. I'm sad to report, but it's a fine heaven anyway. Even the creator of the universe and everything in it forgets to, dot an I or cross a T now and then. For example, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz exists. So, you see, it's like the inciting moment in Terry Gilliam's Brazil, Heaven's telex machine sometimes has a bug fall in it, changing Tuttle to Buttle, and things get a little fucky. So, never mind all that unpleasantness, Michael, for you are indeed going to a heaven, and that heaven is the malt shop. Yes, Michael, you will spend your infinite billions upon trillions of years in a slice of Americana, not only frozen in time, but also serving frozen delights all the time. The malt shop is an eternal Saturday evening in the Grand Rapids, Michigan of 1955. As you remove the coins from your eyes that were supposed to pay your passage to the afterlife, you're going to see that they're nickels, ideal for the glowing jukebox in the corner, around which dance a small group of impossibly cute, clean-cut teens in poodle skirts, saddle shoes, varsity jackets, and crew cuts. Behind a long counter, a couple of tall soda jerks scurry about, scooping cones and blending triple thicks for all the beaming kids. It's not really your speed, sure, but the youthful, uncomplicated vibe of the place, it's hard not to love. It's as if Norman Rockwell ejaculated this reality into existence at the peak moment of his Norman Rockwellness. So, as you take it all in, you do notice it's a bit white.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you're not black, Michael.
As in the people. And it's 100% heteronormative. And I would just ask, Michael, what part of Grand Rapids 1955 do you not understand?
Right.
So finding your feet, you mosey over to the counter to order what will be the first of an infinite number of milkshakes. As you slide onto the gleaming chrome stool, you notice all the kids giving you a bit of a look. As the soda jerk leans in with a welcoming wink, he hesitates for just a beat as he asks what you'll have. He gets a little caught up somewhere between sir and a sudden ma'am.
Oh,
let me explain. When the bug fell in the celestial telex machine, it goofed your salvation destination, but just by a couple letters. You see, the malt shop was designed for your great aunt Michelle, not you, Michael. Her greatest moment in life was her first date with Jake Masterson at the corporeal version of this very malt shop on a summer Saturday in 1955. And a loving God prepared her paradise accordingly.
Oh, dear.
So in addition to the clerical error placing you in your dearly departed relatives hereafter, you have also been requisitioned her eternal wardrobe, etc. And despite the soda jerk's rude fumble, I think you're a vision in that smart pink poodle skirt and powder blue cashmere cardigan. Do they fit? Absolutely not. Do they fit in this temple of post-war Caucasian American conformity? You betcha. Now, I know this feels very awkward, and your feet are jammed into cute Mary Jane's 5 sizes too small, but have you heard what happened to your Auntie Michelle? Oh, my God, it's way worse. She got shunted to some German S&M guy's afterlife called Himmel des Endlosen Zorns, the Heaven of Endless Wrath, which is an eternal Rammstein concert in an endless rain in a muddy field outside of Dusseldorf, where poor Auntie Michelle has spent the last decade and a half of her afterlife trying very much to speak to someone in charge. And as to that, in the celestial bureaucracy, there is no system of appeals or any sort of complaint department because, by design, things can't ever go wrong in a perfect system. Even when they do, which they don't, despite you and your kindly auntie's current co-predicament. See? It's almost too simple. Hey, at least you're inside and there's ice cream, and that dreamboat Jake Masterson is there. Hubba hubba. And just so you get the lay of the sweet-smelling patch of land you've arrived at, your nickels will never run out, so you and the rest of your neato gang can play records without so much as a pause. However, you should know that there are 5 and only 5 singles on the jukebox. Firstly, Bill Haley and the Comets' Rock Around the Clock.
Can't go wrong.
That's a crowd pleaser, right? Next, the Chordettes' poppy love ballad, Mr. Sandman.
Oh.
Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Third, Les Baxter's Unchained Melody, a real fave for a slow dance with your fella. Just a note, this is the heaven of a chaste 15-year-old Lutheran girl born in 1940 in rural Michigan. So Jake Masterson might be good for a dance, a brief hug, or an innocent peck, but you're never going to get his dick. Still, it's a great song. Fourth, Bill Hayes, The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Kind of a slow, weird story song, but believe me, you're going to need some relief from the other 4 songs. And lastly, Tennessee Ernie Ford's 16 Tons. Also a story song, but at least this one's got some groove and a sexy bat beat for all the sexy times none of you are ever going to get. Now, as far as the ice cream, it's the fucking best. The banana splits, the sundaes, the shakes, these soda jerks are without equal in the known universe. But watch your step, young missy. There are 3 ice cream flavors in this endless 1955. Vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, but mostly vanilla. Careful you don't ask for anything too queer. So, dear Michael, or maybe Michelle, just own it. There's no other choice. You got a little music, you got a boyfriend, and you got 1/3 of a rainbow of flavors forever. Your poor Auntie Michelle only has ear-splitting rage metal, ketamine, and writhing, muddy fuck piles of German nihilists in the freezing rain forever. And prior to that, she'd never even been to St. Paul for the Harvest Festival. So, as always, count your many blessings, Michael, in your candy-colored heaven, from which there is no escape and no respite.
Whew. Wow. Well,
enjoy that.
With those two heavens to look forward to, how could anyone not be giving to us at these levels?
Who wouldn't want that?
Why isn't everybody a $10 patron? I don't know.
Well, congratulations, everyone.
Yes.
And with that, let's move on.
Moving on.